Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is actually show you what the point of this is, right? So as an example, I'm going to go to one of my sites where I put a form and show you why I would use it. So let's get off this. Let's go to my real estate site, okay? So that's that 123 My Property. I don't have one on the demo site yet, which is why, oh no, you know what? We're going to go to this site. I don't have one on the demo site yet, which is why I'm not showing you an example there yet. This one is already created, okay? So what I'm going to show you is an area that I've set up for users to put in information, and when the user then clicks to submit this information, it gets sent to me. So it says, learn more about Wonder Grove now. In this form, in the form of one email, you receive a full Wonder Grove information package. So this is just a way of getting their information without them having to email me directly, without them cutting and pasting my email address or clicking on my email address and having it open up like here, like in Outlook. I have this right on the face of the page. So this integrates the user, and we call that Web 2.0. That's integrating the user more into the experience that's actually happening on your website. And you can get into this a lot more to the point where they're like playing games and they're blogging on your site because you put in a blog tool. I just want their information. Okay, and that's, as marketers with simple websites that are just trying to drive traffic, that's more like what you're going to want to do as well. So I want to see at least one example of this on your site for your final project, at least one, okay? The trick to it is, and this brings up a question that Arlen asked there, where he said, well, my site came with a form. All right, so can I just use that? Of course. Yes, you can if you know how to code in PHP. And this, again, is one of those more complicated things that when you learn simple web design and you're doing things WYSIWYG format and just creating a website in Dreamweaver, watch. It's very easy to start building a form. You go insert, there's a menu for forms. You click form. Anytime you have a form, it's going to be surrounded by a red border like dash like that. Then you can go back to the same menu. I think I even have one if we're in classic view on the layout tab, okay? So on the same menu, I'm going to insert just a text field right here. It's the first choice, okay? Insert a text field. We're going to give it the ID name, and we're going to give it the same label too, so it comes up and says name, and then they can put a label in there. So somebody could type their name in there, right, when the site's live. And then you can enter down, and right underneath it, you can do another text field, email, right? Okay, so this is, in a very simple way, I'm just plugging in forms. No, I didn't mean to make that a checkbox. Here, so I want to edit that. So I can actually just change it right there. You want the newsletter, could be a checkbox, right? But underneath here, I actually wanted another text field that's set to email. Okay. So, and there's all kinds of options, guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of time showing you how you can just keep dumping in fields. Just doing this will not get you credit for inserting a form on your site. You've actually launched your sites live. So I want you to be able to have a form that works. Have a form that when they click submit down at the bottom and you have a little button that says submit, it actually emails you what they put in there. And that requires what's called PHP coding, and it requires you to set something up on the server so that there's a database so you can put the stuff in there. It's very, very easy to put forms in Dreamweaver just the way I did. You can just start building them up and put whatever you want, and there's checkboxes and there's radio buttons. There's all kinds of different stuff, okay? But past that, you're going to have a server help you set up so that these forms are connected to a little space on your server where all the contact information goes, or you can set it up to have it emailed to you, however you want to do it. There is no way I'm going to do that with you guys all in the same server space, and it does get pretty complicated, and it does involve coding and programming that's a little bit beyond this course. We're sticking with simple marketing websites. We can put something together that looks pretty good. However, at the same time, Mike's taught us that we want to do things like WYSIWYG. We want to use the resources that are available to us that make things like this really easy. So there's a site online, and I've also linked to it in week 9 of your content, which you can see we were a bit behind on some of those things, but they've all been covered now in the advanced concept video. So right here, forms using email me form. This video will be posted in the advanced concept playlist too. But this website is a great resource for creating forms without having to, hang on, that link to a video that goes through it. Let's go back to this, emailmeform.com. Without having to write the PHP, okay? And you can pay for it if it starts to work for you. This is a service worth paying for. But what we'll do, just for the example in this class, and everyone should do this for their site, is we'll set one up for free. So I'm going to go through it fairly quickly here for the sake of this video, but you guys would take your time and just follow the instructions and just put the form in, and then all of a sudden it works. So I'll do a quick one here. Now, sign up for free. I should already be signed up, so let me just get in here, and I should be set up. So you would walk yourself through the process of signing up for free, which I'm not going to do in the video. It's just not really necessary. They might have canceled my account. You know what? Maybe I will do that, just to show you guys what you need to do. So let's sign up, okay? I'll show you how long it actually takes. Let's make a username.
Are they going to harass me?
Not unless you, oh, maybe I am signed up already. Not unless you ask them for the newsletter. Just check that you agree to the terms of service, but somewhere along the way they're going to ask you if you want them to send them a bunch of stuff. So you would go through the process of the sign up, and eventually once you're done, you click OK, and they'll send you a user account info to you. And I think I actually will be able to log in if I remember this correctly. No, it's still not letting me in. I use another program for forms. I don't use the same one. There we go. Okay, so we're in. So once you get in there, okay, and you can see a form that I've made for someone else that I put on their site, you'll be in an account. You won't have anything down here because you haven't added any forms yet, but as soon as you get in and get it all set up, and now I don't have to walk through the whole process in this video, and it would have been very quick. You'll get to a page like this, and you'll have an account tab, and you can change your email and stuff, and then you'll have this here where it says add form, okay? So if you want to add a form, you can click this, and it will build the form for you in WYSIWYG. So you don't have to be on your, I'd like to choose from the pre-made forms. I don't know, maybe. In here, you can actually build your own form and choose the colors and the fonts and everything. Take me to the form builder. Form title is your description. Okay, well, I don't know why they have this here. So form title, let's just call this submit info form. Okay. This is your description for the form. Tell us what your favorite Flock of Seagulls album is, or song. It's even simpler. Okay, confirmation options. Yeah, you could show text. So thank you, your submission has been saved. Left align, fine. Send. I'd rather have this say submit. So see, I haven't used this in a long time. I use another program. But to demonstrate this to you and show you the free one, even though I haven't used this in a while, I'm still just scrolling down. It's just mindless, right? It's just a WYSIWYG thing. It's like setting up the way you want your email to look or something. So you just put in the stuff you want in there. I don't want to show CAPTCHA. Show CAPTCHA means that you're going to ask everyone who submits for an image verification. So it's a security thing. Unless your site gets really busy, I'm just going to keep this like keep this kind of wide open. So I'm just going to make no anti-spam security. Turn form off after, I don't know, turn it off after like 25 entries. It's not likely that you get that much anyway. And then once you turn it off after 25 entries, that way if somebody goes and starts spamming you, it'll stop after 25. It's just that's an easier way to make anti-spam without having stupid stuff in your form. Okay, so save form, saving data, and now we can go and continue editing this form, okay? So now we can add, remember all those choices in Dreamweaver where we could add stuff? So now we can choose from them over here and start adding them. So yeah, I'd like to know their name, okay? First, last, that's fine. I'll just leave it the same. Maybe their email, and then I'm gonna have like a, maybe I'll actually have a multiple choice where I list like their top 10 songs, okay? Or I can have an actual just box where they type in the song, single line text, okay? And what else could I put in there? Here's where you can do a file upload, right? Remember you guys asked if you want to have them add a picture, you can set that up in there and it'll email it to you. I'm not going to go nuts with this because I just want to show you guys the example. So this is all done from going to this free website. I haven't really done much of anything yet other than create a form and pick some stuff. When I go save form, do you think it's going to give me a nice simple code to just cut and paste into my site? Yeah. Probably. Open new window and view. Let's check it out. Let's see what it looks like. Cool. Looks pretty simple. I usually leave that in there because it's, you know, whatever. They're giving it to me for free. I won't mind if that's in there on your website. It's no big deal. I can show you how to take it out too. So, and then what are the email notifications? Let's check that out as well. So right now my recipient email is set to my AOL, which is not really what I want. I'd rather use my let's use my Fanshawe Online so you guys can see it come through. Okay. And let's add that one, and let's get rid of that one. All right. Message from, you could just say, here, yeah, you could just say don't include it, because you don't really need a message from they're just trying to get their advertising in there, right? And you don't need you know where it's going to be coming from, so you could just say don't include it. That's going to be like the message when you get the email, like where it's coming from. You're going to know when it comes from your site because it's going to tell you. Form name, here, retrieve name from the top level, the name. That way, you know, the name field will come in as the subject of the form, and then you'll know the person who submitted it. Save it. Okay, so you can change the settings around in there, and this is creating all this code for you, right? See where it says PH there? PHP forms. You don't want to have to build this in Dreamweaver. It's actually a bit complicated. This recipient is already being used, but oh, I must have made another account in another class as an example. Let's do Fanshawe. Let's just do my personal email, whatever. I hardly ever open it, so don't freak out when I open it up and there's like 90,000 emails in there. So there you go. We're going to use my AOL, save it up. Okay. Now, while I'm doing this, you guys might as well be setting up your own account, right? Then you'll be ready to cut and paste with me. So saving data, saving data. Eventually, what it's going to give me, instead of having this form in here, and I'm just going to remove what I created here, form, delete. It's going to give me a pre-made form that I can just plug right in here. Just let me finish up, and then I can answer your questions because I don't. Okay, so continue editing notification, open. Take me back to Form Manager, all right? So let's take a look at the Form Manager. So submit info form, code right there. So grab the code. Let's see how it turns out. So this URL in an email message, we could actually link back to our site. You know, we don't have to use theirs. But that's a link, well, technically, that's a link directly to the form. What I'm saying is if you wanted to, you could link back to the page in your site with the form on it instead of just linking directly to the form. But I'll show you what happens here. So you've actually created this extra little page, which is on their server, but you can link to it inside your site if you want, right? This is the form right here. It's all built and ready to go. So I want to use the HTML, use an HTML button to paste into your web. Okay. And then here. That's not what we want. HTML. There. We want the full HTML for it, which is actually quite long because there's a lot involved in this. These are just links, okay? They'll put the button in your site, or they'll put just like a link to the form in your site and it says fill out my form. I'm not going to accept that as an acceptable version of this form. I want to see the form in your site. So if you go to HTML, down there, HTML only, and you copy all the code, and then where am I going to do this? In design view or code view? Code view, very good. So I go to code in that same spot, okay, and within that spot, I'm going to place that code, and right in that paragraph break, the form will show up, okay? Now I don't have the same color background. That doesn't really bother me. If you wanted to go in and start changing that around, in the code, you can actually change around the colors, the CSS, the font, all that stuff. And now you've got a form that when you click send, it will send you an email with the information. Okay, and that's how you set it up. Now, I'm not going to be testing this, in the sense of like while I'm grading your sites next week. I will test this one really quick right now. Let's save that file and open it up in a browser. Okay. So.
Is there a way that we can make it smaller?
Yeah, you just go into the form. Yep, we'll do that in a second. You just go into the properties on the form and start to edit the size of the table. It's kind of set up in a table area, so you can just go right in there and change the sizing of it. We'll do that last. Let's just test it out and see how it works. So I am in my demo site, and which page did I do that on again? The blogs page. Okay. So I'm going to open this up. And this isn't even on my server. It's not. It doesn't have to be on your server for you to test this. So, Mike, email address. I can put in. Well, it's not. It might be weird if I put in the same address, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Preferred telephone number. Right. Desired outcome. What do I want to do? I want to buy Flock of Seagulls records. Would you like a free home appraisal? Oh, did I just put Jeremy's stupid thing in here? Damn it. Okay, I actually put the wrong code for the form in there by accident, but the example is still completely legit, okay? When I was back here, I have more than one form on here, okay? So when I was back here, I should have noticed at the top that I picked the wrong form. You want the submit info form, okay? Code. HTML only. Okay, submit info form. All right. So I just go back and get the proper code. Why don't I just do that really quick and show you guys how, well, no, I'm already doing the example. I would have just pasted the right code in there. So when I click send, okay, it's going to bounce me off to an email me form page, and I'll show you how to fix that in a second. But once I click send, okay, that should be going to my server. So if I go then to AOL, well, wow, okay, come on, here, just AOL.com. Oh, you know what? That's not going to go to me either. This is the... Okay, if I click send and I would have used the proper form, it would show up in my email inbox, okay? And because I set the form up that way with all of my properties when I made the form, when you click that send button, it's set to go to the email box. Now, if you go to the send button in the code, okay, that's going to submit based on the values that are inside that code. So you'd have to find the link and change it because I just put in the wrong one, right? And you can change the page where it goes. See where it actually goes here? You can change this to go to a page on your site. Okay, and then if you wanted to change the sizing of the box or the way the form is laid out, inside of the form, it's usually just a table. So I can't make it any smaller because I needed that much space, but you can make it bigger there just by resizing the table. Okay, so very, very simple way to get a form into your website that you can actually use to collect information from people. Now, never mind the fact that in this video that I just recorded for you, and I'm not going to make another one, I used Jeremy's form, so I just emailed Jeremy a message that he's probably going to get all excited. Oh, I got a contact from my website. Well, he didn't. And if I used the proper form, it would have gone to my email, and I'd show you that. It's really, really simple. Okay, so you set it up the right way. I'm not going to check and send and then have you open your email up. That's going to take way too long. But I'll know when I look at this if you used email me forms because you will have this down there. And if then afterwards you want to keep using this on your site but you want to get rid of that, okay, just backspace it. All right, just backspace it. And then you just take it right out. But leave it in there for the grading purposes of this site because this is the cheapest and quickest and easiest way to have all the PHP built for you. If you keep doing this later on and you want to come up with a better way to create cleaner forms like the one I have on my real estate site where you can change the background more easily, just ask me and I'll tell you how I did that. Okay, and then the final thing in here, if you go inside the form, so form, all right? So this is the action here and the page where it's taking you during the action. So you can set this up to open blank and that way they don't lose your website because I believe with the way they set up their server, you have to go to the email me form page to continue to get that email. You can't change this around. What you can change then is what you say on the page. And you can add a hyperlink to that page, just bounce right back over to your page. So there's lots of ways you can do it to keep it clean. And the reason it's like that is because it's free. If you paid for the more, if you paid like $5 a month or whatever, or I think the one I use is like $40 a year, they set it up so that you can install it all right into your site. Okay, so it never leaves the site. This is a free version, but building the PHP code is a little bit complicated, and that's why I'm recommending that you do it this way, okay? I showed you how to put them in Dreamweaver, simple as heck, but it's a little more complicated to build the code. So that will get you points on your final project for inserting that form object and having a place where people can give you some feedback, give you some information.